Hello, Umut here. Since Halloween is near, I thought it could be fun to make an art journal with that theme. I started with doing a quick gesso wash to my Dilutions art journal. I'm using this mask paper to stamp my image. I will stamp a moon because I don't want it to be affected with the paint that I will apply to all the page. This will help to keep that area clear for me. I'm using a beautiful moon stamp by Lavinia. This is a new release by them. I will stamp it on this masking paper. Then I will cut the image and put it on my notebook. It sticks, so that part of the page won't be affected by any painting that I am doing to the rest. I will create a night sky here, so the colors I'm using are from Distress Paint, Chipped Sapphire, Blueprint Sketch, Dusty Concord and Wilted Violet. I'm applying the paint with a baby wipe, but it's not so wet. I'm using it a little bit close to dry, just moist enough. Otherwise it will lift the paint and the paint will be very pale. Try to apply the paint building the color slowly, because if you use the colors very intensely at first you might not like it and then there is no way of removing it. However, you can always build it more and more, making it darker and darker. You will see here at first it will look bad, like it's muddy, but when you build the colors it will really look like a night sky. And here is my night sky, and when I lift the mask it gives me a nice space to stamp my moon afterwards. I'm going to apply a little bit distress ink in black soot around the edges of my art journal. This will also add to the night look and give a nice border to my page. Now I will do my stars. It's really easy. I'm using Picket Fence Distress Paint again. I will add some water and do some splashes with this brush, and it will really look like a night with a lot of stars. Now it's time to stamp my moon. I really like the look. Next, I want to do some paper piecing on my journal. I'm using a stamp set that has Halloween elements on it. I started using this little bat and I will stamp a lot of them on this cardstock. Then I will cut them. I will only show you one. After I cut it, I will go over the edges with a Faber-Castell brush in black, so we get rid of the white edges, and also it will look like it's perfect. It covers all the mistakes that you do. Next, I will use a spider web to do some white embossing. I'm using my Versabank ink to stamp the image on the corners. I'm using Wow embossing powder in opaque white, and it's a fine embossing powder, so it goes to the details. To add a little bit more interest on my background, I decided to use this alphabet stamp by Stamp & Do's. It's really cute. I will take 3 and 1 from this set to make a 31, and I will stamp it randomly around the page because Halloween is on 31st. Then I'm using this witch from the same stamp set. I will stamp her like she's flying to the moon. Now it's time to stick my bats. I will use this glue pen, which has a really fine tip. I really like it. I say it every time. And you will see that I'm not going to stick them totally flat. I want the wings to be in the air a little bit, so I will only apply the glue in the middle of the bat. Now is the most exciting part. I'm going to tear this page a little bit on the right side. I want to create an interest like this. That's why it's very useful to leave the pages at the front and the back empty, so that when you have ideas afterwards you can apply them like this. I'm going to color the back page with black. I'm using dilutions here. And I will stick these cute little googly eyes as if they are ghosts looking through the page. I will select different sizes, and I'm using this little matte medium by Ranger. It's really useful. It has a very fine tip to stick little images. And you will realize we have some sun now shining through from the window. I didn't expect it, but you can never complain, there is sun in London. So here are the googly eyes. Now I will stick the two pages together. Next Next, I will do some stenciling with a stencil that I created myself. I did it with my digital cutter. I will link some other similar 3 stencils down below. And if you want to learn about how to create a stencil yourself, please leave a comment down below. I will answer you. I used Dylusion's black paint with a blending tool here. Now I will stamp the sentiment that says Happy Halloween. I will emboss it again with white embossing powder. And then I will stamp Boo with the same alphabet set that I used before, where my ghosts are. I used my anti-static powder tool just to avoid the powder to stick somewhere else. And I am white embossing it again. Lastly, I'm adding some twinkling stars with my white gel pen. And before I finish, I wanted to distress the part of the page that is torn, so I'm doing it here. Not to leave it completely white, I'm adding a little bit ink on the edges. What I am using here is Distress ink in shaded lilac and Dusty Concord. Giving a little bit highlight to my witch with my white gel pen. And it's finished. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like button down below and subscribe to my channel. You can see all the close-up pictures at the end of the video or in my blog. See you next time!